There are so many L's to hand out in this story alone. Like the ones that just immediately come to mind. Okay, L for Soros-backed prosecutors. Okay, I think that goes without saying. L for Chicago, because, obviously. L for single moms, because we'll get into that. And L for, a certain community that lives on the south side of Chicago. Soros-backed prosecutor, Kim Foxx. Here's another L for her as well. The chick that originally bungled the Jussie Smollett situation, only to be removed from the case and saved by virtue of her connections to the Obama family. Yeah, but don't worry about that or anything like that. Is accused of legitimizing vigilante justice after dropping murder charges against a mom who ordered her son, a 14-year-old son, to shoot dead the man, beating her up, and then told him to shoot the victim's girlfriend. What is going on here? Okay, so somebody got beat up. Okay, what happened beforehand? You always got to ask that question because, so some ratchet chick got beat up in a fucking establishment. Okay, while I wouldn't be somebody and I've never been anybody to hit a woman before, there are some guys that are out there that are just waiting for the excuse. They take that whole idea of equal rights, equal lefts, and they take it to heart. But then, because she can't just hold that L, can't go to the police or anything like that, she gets her 14-year-old son, to spin the block and catch the ops. What? Like I said, there's so many fucking moving parts to this, and this makes me sick on so many different levels. Prosecutor Kim Foxx has been slammed for legitimizing vigilante justice after she dropped a murder charge against a mother who ordered her son to shoot dead a stranger who attacked her. Oh yeah, so then end up handing out another L to the guy who beat up the lippy woman and then ended up dying at the hands of her 14-year-old son. I don't know if he got charged with murder, but it is also Chicago as well, so he couldn't be held liable for a murder that he committed under the authority of his mother, but he would be illegally within his bounds to transition. It's just so fucking... See, again, L Chicago. Liberal George Soros-backed Cook County State Attorney Kim Foxx, 51, announced that she would be ditching all the charges against Carlishia Hood, 35, after her teenage son shot Jeremy Brown dead on June 18th. What the fuck? The decision to backtrack on these charges has caused widespread outrage, with Chicago City Councilman Raymond Lopez saying Kim Foxx is not a hero. She has only legitimized vigilante justice. Consider yourself warned. Yeah. Foxx, whose role is equivalent to district attorney in the Windy City, initially charged the mother with murder and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Yeah, exactly. But has since dropped the charges after a new video of Brown repeatedly punching Hood came to light. Yeah, okay. See, I could understand, and also, well, I've kind of seen the, security cam footage and all that other stuff. Doesn't really help exonerate her. But it's one of those situations, okay, if your mother's getting beat up by somebody that you don't know, and then you end up pulling the strap and emptying the clip into them, charging somebody with murder on that, that's a different situation. And I'm sure Kim Foxx wouldn't have had a problem with that, but also, okay, how did we end up with the firearm? Because we also know Chicago has some of the strictest gun laws on the books. So, okay, cool. Didn't bother charging that one at all whatsoever. You just care about people trying to protect themselves. Well, in certain communities, right? Brown, 32, was caught on camera beating Hood after shouting at her, "Get her food," with surveillance footage showing Hood's son, 14, shooting him in the back. The prosecutor initially claimed that Hood told her son to keep shooting Brown until he was dead, as well as encouraging him to aim for his girlfriend. Yeah, that also seems like, however you charge that, attempted murder by proxy? I don't know what the official charge of that one would be. The teenager, who has not been named, well, he's 14 and he's already been fucked 7 ways from Sunday by being raised by a single mother, followed Brown out of the restaurant and fired additional shots. How is that not at least attempted murder in some form or fashion? Mother and son then took off in the car, with the police asking for help tracking them down until they handed themselves in on June 21st. Where did the gun come from? Hood broke down in tears during the press conference on Tuesday. Yeah, of course, because she got away with it. Oh my God, no, thank the good Lord, the nice black lady could just let us off. Fucking stupid. Where she announced she would be filing a lawsuit against the city of Chicago. Oh my fucking God. So you just end up, okay, you get away with fucking murder. You get away with murder. And now you're going to try to run the city's pockets. What the actual fuck, man? Attorneys for the family filed a 4-count complaint where they alleged malicious prosecution, false arrest, and intentional infliction of emotional damage. Speaking at a press conference, Hood said, "I've never experienced pain in many ways that I would never have thought. Never. What happened to me was totally unnecessary. Not in a million years would I have ever imagined being brutally attacked, beaten, and then arrested. I'm thankful that the Cook County State's attorney dismissed the case. Now, if you'd excuse me, could you please sign this check for me and my kids, my babies?" Yeah, she looks like she's real shook up by that, huh? The fact that they have to put the caption underneath, "Hood broke down in tears." Here's a picture of Hood at a press conference on Tuesday when she announced that she would be filing a lawsuit with, personal injury attorney, their logos in the background. Like, it seems like they're just, definitely seeking justice in this case. How fucking stupid. Oh, she got an Illuminati eye on her chest. Of course she does. Now, a link will be in the description when it comes to the actual video that was being captured at the time. Kind of leaving out important context what happened beforehand, but obviously the guy who ended up getting shot and killed, throwing hands at the moms right here, gave her plenty opportunity to shut the fuck up. Now, obviously, it's not something that I would have done or not anything that I do endorse. All I'm saying is we got to assess the situation as it were. At the point in time when she was getting slugged, and because YouTube's big gay when it comes to playing any sort of violent videos, I just got to go ahead and describe it afterwards. Yeah, she was right up against that wall, our dreadlock friend right here. Here's a picture of everything that happened beforehand. Him clenching fists, walking back, threw one punch after he said, "If you say one more thing, I'm going to punch you in the face." And then she just continues fucking nattering because, of course. And then he just winds up, gives one clear shot. Sounds like he made good contact and her head might have hit the wall or something like that. And then she continues yapping and then he comes in and lands a few more. And yeah, at that point of time, if she had the strap on her, a reasonable fear for her life, 100%, she would have been within her right to defend herself. I'm not disputing that at all whatsoever. But there's only so much information we can glean from that clip as well as what happened before this. What ended up, or what led up to this situation? What were the provoking factors from beforehand? We're never going to know because all the charges have been dismissed, right? Attorneys for Hood claim Brown was out on bond for a firearms offense. Oh, interesting, because there's somebody else that should also have a firearms offense at the time of the shooting and said that it had documented criminal history of being violent against African-American women. You know that they would love to put being racist in there. It's like, oh, for Pete's sake. Why you got to feed into the stereotype? They added that additional lawsuits will be forthcoming, and community activist Jamal Green, wonderful, somebody else trying to get some free bread, claimed the shooting was self-defense. He said, "I would never praise a situation that ends in violence. In this case, the young man did what he felt like he needed to do." But how did a 14-year-old have a gun? Just asking. And again, a lot of context is missing that we're never going to see. It was not the first time that Foxx has been criticized for the handling of her case. James Murphy resigned in 2022 and publicly said that he had zero confidence in the leadership of Foxx, claiming she rushed state laws and is focused on PR stunts. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, former mayor, we got a new one that's in here, he's just as bad, had previously accused Foxx of harming public safety after she prioritized vacating convictions for those framed or falsely accused of drug crimes by corrupt police officers. Of course, in 2020, liberal funder George Soros donated $2 million to the PAC that backed Foxx in her re-election campaign. She won the race and has since offered deferred prosecutions and softball deals to criminals. In 2021, more murders in Chicago than any other year since 1994. Comes after Foxx announced in April that she would not seek re-election after she was hit with criticism over two high-profile cases in her county went awry. One of them's got to be Jussie Smollett, but there you go. You got some stills there for a second. This old black guy that's right here is like, kind of seen that one coming from a mile away, this fucking goofy situation. But yeah, there you have the security cam footage of the son coming back with a gun. Interesting. Drop charges against actor Jussie Smollett for staging a racist, homophobic attack against himself. Which, yeah, we already know all about that situation, and then How's Smollett's appeal going? Don't know. He's still out and he's still free. But here you have more pictures of what's going on outside of the sandwich shop. As you can tell, that security cam is Parkig side. Okay. Court documents state that Brown punched Hood in the head 3 times. I've seen that. Again, clip will be in the article, and you can check that out as well, but did not bring up self-defense. Oh, because in order to allege self-defense in a trial, you got to kind of bring that up. But the prosecutor decided to step in and went, nope, clear self-defense. It's unclear exactly what was in the new footage to make the DA change her stance on the charges. Probably just seeing a bunch of black people and it's like, not innocent. You guys have been prosecuted enough. Foxx said in a statement, based upon our continued review in the light of emerging evidence, today the Cook County State's Attorney's Office has moved to dismiss the charges against Carlishia Hood and her 14-year-old son. Based upon the facts, evidence, and the law, we are unable to meet our burden of proof in the prosecution in these cases. Yeah, how about the additional, continue to shoot him until he's dead and now go after his girlfriend, who was not pictured in that camera footage. Legal analysts previously said that no charges should have been brought against Hood in the first place because of Illinois self-defense law. Local laws permit the use of deadly force against violent criminals, putting victims in mortal danger. But she also didn't allege that she felt like her life was in danger. So yeah, you're kind of jumping to conclusions on that one. The force can either be used by the victims themselves or somebody such as a family member trying to save them. Yes, of course, and that's what I mentioned right there at the beginning, that yeah, okay, you see your mom getting beat up by somebody who you have no idea, but she's been running her mouth beforehand, regardless of what precipitated that. If it looked like that dude was going to be, putting her out of commission, maiming, harming, or in fear of their life, you know what, hey, you do you. That's totally within your legal right. It's just, the extra stuff on top of that, which kind of lets you to believe, there's some questions to be asked here, but nope, no answers will be provided. Hood was released from Cook County Jail on Monday after being locked up for nearly 5 days, and her son was also freed from juvie. We're sure he's probably going to be back. She went to Maxwell Street Express fast food takeout restaurant in the West Pullman district before 11 p.m. with her son staying in the car. Oh no, was that a school night or something? Anyways, footage released by police initially showed the boy running into the restaurant and opening fire, shooting Brown in the back. Yo, what? 6-month-old Christian Uvidi was killed in a stolen car, collided with the family's truck. What the? Oh, man. Hood, a tax preparer, was a valid FOID card and concealed carry license holder at the time of the incident. Okay, so that was her gun. Okay. See, that's important information. New video shows her going into the restaurant and ordering her food before Brown starts to shout at her, yelling, "Get your food." Well, she continued to yell back at him. She shouted, "Oh my God, if you say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out," which, yeah. He then took a big swing and punched her repeatedly. Well, first time he said once. Or he punched her once, and she continued yapping against his wishes. I know those aren't legally binding orders, but come on. With other customers in the store looking on in horror and running away. Footage did not emerge until after Hood, who legally owned the gun, handed herself in with her son on June 21st. And yeah, you can also hear shots start to ring out after he starts to lay in after the initial punch is thrown, and then he steps back off and starts throwing a couple more times. And then I think you can hear some shots ring out afterwards. Again, can't show it. YouTube gay when it comes to violent videos, and I ain't risking it. We're on a good roll so far. Hood can be seen making her order before the footage cuts to her son in the doorway pulling a gun from his pocket. Okay, so she had the concealed carry, but he was carrying the strap. Make that one make sense. Chicago police video did not show Brown, the final part of the footage, before the teenager outside with the gun. She can then be seen returning to her car with her son, and police asking for help to track down the 2 suspects, who later handed themselves in. Initial reports by the Chicago Defender reported that Hood had ordered her son to shoot Brown, as well as to aim at his girlfriend, but has since been disputed. Okay. So it's been disputed. By who? Doesn't matter. Charges have been dropped, but it's interesting. Without knowing the entire context of this situation, the act itself inside the restaurant, probably justified. It's something that, yeah, you could probably charge and then take it to court, but so many moving parts there. But then the extra situations outside there, make sure to shoot him until he's dead and then go after his girlfriend. Ooh, that implies some sort of motive. And how did the kid get the gun to begin with? Like, okay, she's gonna go in there and she's gonna get mom's is gonna get the sandwiches, but you stay strapped in the doorway. It's like, okay, that's not exactly how concealed carry permits work, and under any other circumstance, that would be motivation to charge somebody with the improper storage of a firearm, but now we don't need to deal with all of those types of situations. Is it vigilante justice in Chicago? Well, again, if this was a justified shoot, which we'll never know, maybe. Kind of. Is it shoddy DA work? Well, yeah, of course, 1000%. It's Kim Foxx, after all. We know her track record. But this also shows you that single moms, oh yeah, no, their ego above everything else, including the well-being of their child, who, yeah, she put in harm's way. She was the one with the concealed carry. Okay, when you have all those simps that are out there, well, the great equalizer for a woman is to have a gun, until they want to enact a vendetta and realize that there's going to be no consequences for their fucked actions afterwards. Yeah, this is what you end up getting. So there's a lot of moving parts to this. A whole bunch of extemporaneous circumstances. Tough to say when you're just, trying to rattle out some words. But all of it in totality, never going to get answered, never going to get full context, never going to see any of the evidence to come up because, oh, it's all done. Done and dusted. So there's a lot of things to learn from this, but first and foremost, for the guys that are out there, don't hit a bitch. Not a crazy bitch, not a lippy bitch. And just if she cuts in line, okay, she starts running her mouth, don't know if this happened, don't know if it didn't happen either. She says that she's got to feed her kids or some shit like that. You already know that she's living a hellish life. And, hey, man, she's going to lash out on you. Chances are that, the other 23 hours and 59 minutes of her day are considerably worse than that 1 minute that she made atrocious for you. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.